Do you know that you don't owe anyone access to you just because they've known you for a long time? Yes. One of the common things that I've observed is how people struggle with boundaries. Boundaries are those things that we put in place to avoid people stepping all over us. It guides how people behave towards you. However, one thing I've noticed is that when it comes to people that are in abusive situations, they keep on overriding themselves or their own feelings. Let me give you a gist about Tope and Grace. Tope and Grace were childhood friends. They grew up together, did everything together. In fact, they were practically sisters. However, Grace had this bad behavior of talking down on Tope every single time, especially because of her body type. And she kept talking down on her about her body, invading her privacy. And sometimes when Tope does, like, you're my friend, I'm doing something good for you, I expect that you're grateful, excited. Grace just takes it with levity and like, if I'm not friends with you, who's going to be friends with you? Which it was that bad. Tope on the other hand would decide to manage, and just assume, oh, we're sisters, she would stop eventually. But the problem was, whenever she gets home, she cries so much because, one, she's hurt by everything that her friend has said to her, and two, it was beginning to deal with her self-esteem. Over time, she learned to ignore how she felt, and she just kept silent whenever Grace does her thing, and they just move on to the next topic. But unknowingly, she was putting herself last. She was putting her emotional health last. Well, one day, Tope was listening to a podcast, and she picked that familiarity does not equate entitlement or disrespect. She knew what she had to do. The next time Grace came and spoke derogatory words to her, my girl was ready. She stood up for herself. Do you want to know what she said? She said, if you would not stop talking to me like that, I'll be forced to stay away from you. Let's remember that this relationship has been since childhood. I was super proud. I was so proud of her. Because in that moment, it was not even about punishing Grace or making Grace feel bad. It was about choosing herself and protecting her own peace. See, when it comes to setting boundaries, be prepared to follow through. Yes, be prepared to follow through with your heart, especially if you're very intentional, or if you want to be intentional about protecting your space, protecting your peace of mind. Please be very prepared to follow through, regardless of how long that relationship has been. Define how you want to be treated.